Hey, what's up? What's up? Give me just a second. Let me go ahead and hit the live on TikTok so that we are out here. Oh, this is like very I won't say last minute because I was always supposed to do a live stream today. Like that was already in the plan, but it was supposed to be a bit later in the day. But we popped out and went to, we have to go to another city to go to like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, at home, et cetera, et cetera. And so we went to go do that. And then BJ fell asleep on the drive home. And I was like, wow, he is asleep. While he is asleep. And I can maybe have a little piece for this live stream. Let me go ahead and pop myself over there and go ahead and get started. And so that is why I am here now to do the live stream. As always, this is being recorded. It's over on my YouTube. So, you're always able to come back and watch it back later. The questions that I'm going to be answering are going to either be like if people put like questions or anything. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Nikki. If people put questions or anything in the YouTube comments, I will also try to get to those. But for the most part, these are questions that were submitted over on my Patreon. If you're watching on TikTok, I am an old lady and the font is really small. And so I have a hard time seeing the like where the comments and stuff are coming up on TikTok. So like I promise I am not ignoring you. Like if you ask a question or something over there, I promise you I'm not ignoring you. I am just old and having a hard time seeing it. But I am going to make a point of like trying to look for it. I'm just saying, please do not think that I'm, being, I don't know, Hollywood or anything like that. I literally just am blind and really need to go see it really is past time for me to go do my what is my eye exam for 2025. Y'all know I say that, but at the beginning of the year I had to go back for like a follow-up and I was glad they sent me a text message because I had forgotten about that appointment. But I had my eye pressure was too high. Have y'all heard of that? My eye pressure was too high and I had to go back and get it looked at. And it was fine. Like I was fine on the, like when I the follow-up appointment and exam and all of that. Hey Brittany, hey Kia, Shirley, and Shannon. Hey y'all. Um, before I get on a tangent about my eyes, I have my questions pulled up. And I'm going to go backwards to forward. So I'm going to start with the earliest question. Let me see. Has there ever been a book you've wanted to rewrite after publishing? Um, Immediately, no. But when I read back my like when I read back some things in my backlist, especially like my early stuff, there are things that I would do different. Like things that it's like I see what I was trying to do. I see what, like I see where I was going with it. But now with, 10 years of experience with writing and with how to like with 10 years of craft, 10 plus years of craft under my belt, like there's things that I would just do differently that I feel like I could have executed better. Um that would be the main thing I would say. Like, I feel like I could have done things there's things that I feel like books and storylines that I feel like I could have done better. But with that said, there are things that I think I did better back then than I do now. Like, I think about like, particularly my male characters. I feel like back then I was a little more willing to the characters were a little more flawed. The characters were a little more flawed. And I feel like as much as I wish that I didn't do this, I feel like I internalized that, and I am a little more careful about the specific flaws that I give my male characters, or the specific mistakes that they get to make. I don't see it as much with my heroines. I feel like I'm a little more I feel like it flipped. Like I'm a little more willing for the heroine to be a little messier. And even then, I don't know. I don't know. Like again, I think about like Carter from Didn't Mean to Love You. I think about you know, and y'all know I didn't ask for your heart. I think about Roman and his, you know, the messiness and drama with his ex. I think about Steph from and his reaction to Nubia's health news, like stuff like that. Um that I feel are very, you know, I feel are very human, and I feel are very real. I don't think the readers did not take the audience was not impressed with I say impressed, you know, impressed is truly not the right word. But I think that it kind of it spooked me a little bit, because like I don't be wanting, you know, to be ranted to like about it. Don't mistake that for me saying that I don't want people to talk about the books or anything like that. But people would get very angry. Like I even recently, I got tagged in a TikTok of somebody like going in, like they were like truly upset about that was actually inevitable that was inevitable conclusions. They were highly upset about Tarek and how like his interaction with Jalissa, and it was just like, nah, I don't. I do not want to. You know, I'm not trying to. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Um, Let me see. The way he reacted made me like the book more, because yes, men are that slow to say it out loud. It was real as yes. Thank you, DJ. I hope I'm saying your name. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. But yes, yes, absolutely. They do be slow. They just do. Like they do. They do. And okay. Thank you for validating me. Let me see. Whatever happened with the books to movie projects from a few years ago? This is a reference to some different projects that were optioned for film and TV, et cetera, et cetera. Um, Nothing. Which is what happens with most of the time when a book gets optioned for TV or film, nothing ever comes of it. Um, uh, just honestly, occasionally, you know, something will come of it. Something will come of it, and it is very exciting when a project actually gets to go from, you know, option, which really just means, you know, we might make this, you know, to like, okay, we're making this, like we're actually for real doing this. That's the exciting thing. And so this is not advice for like, I guess, the general public really, but the advice that I would give to authors who, you know, who has their project option. Is it something to be excited about? Yes, it's something to be excited about, but it is something to be cautiously excited about, I would say, because again, the vast majority of the time, nothing ever comes of it. And so you don't want that I feel like that could be incredibly discouraging if you don't understand that it's if you don't understand what those numbers typically look like. It could be very discouraging. You feel like you realize it, oh, my project wasn't good enough, or I say excited, also like it's going to happen. It's saying this has a better chance of happening um than it did without an option. But it's still something to be kind of cautiously excited about. I was lucky enough that that was explained to me at the time. And so I honestly didn't expect anything to actually come of it. And I'm glad that that's where my head was, because nothing did come of it, and that's okay. I do hope to see some of my projects on screen, eventually. However, that, kind of however it turns out, however it happens. I feel like anything that's meant for me is not going to miss me. And so I don't feel, like I don't feel sad about that opportunity not panning out. It just means that it wasn't the one. But again, I'm glad that I was prepped, because that could have been it could have been really hurtful. It could have been really hurtful, but again, I was prepped. Is there a possibility of a new Connecticut King story collaboration with Love? There's always a possibility of that. Like that option is always going to it'll always stay open. Is there a genre or trope you haven't done yet that you'd like to explore? I don't think so. Or I would say no. I would say no. Um, I would say there are some that I would like to explore more. And I've talked about, wanting to do like romantasy, like for real. Um, you have a little bit of it, I feel, with Wonder, or I don't know that Wonder would be considered romantasy. I think I have to look up a little more about the definition. Definitely urban fantasy, I think. I have to look up the definitions, but if anything, it would be something that kind of deals a little more like a little heavier on like alternate world building, if that makes sense. I would love to do something like that, but I know that that takes, it takes time, and really kind of being able to sit down with it, and it takes some organization that I am not okay. We work as much as we can. As one of with one of his series. Who was that, Kia? I would be interested in that. I need Pierre and Logan on screen, or Asha and Kingston. Yeah. I feel like everybody goes for the more high action ones, and I get that, but I think Pierre and Logan, especially because of kind of what their story is, I think all of that WAWG Vegas, all of that the WAWG Studios books, I think they would all be good um on screen. Um, I love to see the If You Can series on my TV, so fingers crossed for the future. That would be fun. That would be fun. Um, I worry about adaptations with the whitening of things currently. Oh, you intentionally write your characters, especially those who are darker toned or mid-size slash plus size. They are so important. So I will say that I believe that that was part of the reason that nothing ended up panning out, because I had it written into the contract that there were no, like, we were not changing the race of any characters with a speaking role. No one with a speaking role. We were not changing their race. We were not changing not so much on necessarily what they looked like visually, because I think that would have been like, I feel like that would have been much harder to do. Um and to be clear, characters in like A Crazy Little Thing Called Love, there there legitimately wasn't any like true plus size representation. If there was, like if Simone had been like a plus size woman, like I would have been specific about like she needs to remain a plus size woman. If it was behind the scenes, Logan is a plus size woman, like, and she is going to be that on the screen. Um, I've had issues with casting in audiobooks where I would get sent auditions and it would be like audibly a white person like what are we doing here? Luckily that only happened once. I've only ever had to say something about that one time and it has not happened to me again. I guess they kind of spread the word. But that definitely is a thing. That is absolutely a thing. Let me see. Going back to the questions. Can we have a Calvin Cross team jersey? That is a spoiler, kind of. Uh, or Brawlers merchandise. We'll let's revisit that in a couple of weeks. Would you ever consider selling a package to get your whole catalog? More than likely, no. But I will say that the goal is like if y'all have seen me doing the hardcover special editions, the goal is for everything to have a home in one of those, like in a special edition format, so that we have the omnibuses. And so it will be possible to get probably within the next it'll probably take me 2 or 3 years to do it. I'm looking, there's a bookshelf across from me. But it will be possible in like with the special editions. So actually, yes. Yes. Once I'm done with the special editions, I will probably make make it available where you can get all of them. But on an individual basis, I would probably never do a package like that. Just because it would be very unwieldy to try to process, I would think. Does Alan from Hustle Takeover get what he deserves? I'm not gonna lie to you, Aisha. I don't think we're ever gonna see Alan again. I don't think we're ever gonna see him again. Marshall says, will there be another Roses and Thorn book? Probably at least one. Probably at least one. Um, because we still have to see Margot. We still have to see what Margot has going on. And so, like at the very, very least, we would see Margot eventually. Um, will we ever get a story to connect Wonder and integrate it into the CCJ verse officially? Maybe the paranormal series. Huh. I'm not certain how I would do it. I f- I feel like I put breadcrumbs of stuff in Wonder. I can't remember. I know there is a point where Allie wears a Beyonce, like a Beyonce t-shirt or something like that, if I can think my way through it. I can't pull it to mind right now, but I have thought about that. Like what, because there's typically breadcrumbs of something for another book in everything that I write. And so I have to figure out how I would kind of breadcrumb some things. I don't know how I don't know how I would make the official connection. But I'm gonna keep thinking on it because you got my brain going, Brittany. The Ivy Park shirt. That's what it was. Thank you. I knew there was something. I knew there was something. I just glanced over here and Chas Nicole um mentions it as well on over here on TikTok. Um Brittany says, how did you come up with the Kimball bourbon and night shift beer? So I am obsessed with I'm obsessed with cell phone games. And I'm gonna explain to you why this matters. So around the time that what year was Equivalent Exchange? Equivalent Exchange was like 2018. I'm trying to think of what else was happening in 2018 because I go through these phases where I get really, really like deep into like playing games on my phone. And there was this game on my phone where you had to it was like a not like it wasn't quite like Farmville or anything like that or like Township, but there were these different things like you had to grow the hops, you had to you got to like design your beer label, um you got to like distribute it to different bars and stuff. Dude, I wish I see this is the issue with me not looking at these questions ahead of time because if I had looked at the questions ahead of time, I could have went and found the name of the game. I haven't played it in a very long time. I don't even know if the game still exists. But it was a game. It was on the Google Play Store because I have an Android and that's where I would it was from the Google Play Store. But like you could sell and like distribute your beer to different bars and you wanted to be able to get it into different nice bars. And so I had all of this like in my brain as these characters were coming to mind for me. And so like that game I feel like planted the seed for, everything else. And it's like of course there were other influences and other, like as you're developing the characters and developing the story and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that was absolutely a heavy influence. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see if I can find the name of that game. I might re-download it if it's still if it's still in the Play Store. I might go back to it. Because I spent less time on TikTok. I feel like that was healthier. I feel like that was much, much healthier. Playing like Merge Mayor and Township and what's the game with the eggs, with the egg farm? So the beer game was very similar to the egg farm game. If y'all know what I'm talking about with the egg farm game, I can't think of the name of that one either. But if y'all if you're into the phone games, you know the egg farm game. You know the game I'm talking about. Um, let me see. Which one of your FMCs or female main character would you say is most like you or is more like you? Hmm. So I will say that I feel like every heroine I write has a little something of me. There is not one that I would say is necessarily like me. Um Karis from Equivalent Exchange that we were just talking about, she's a graphic designer by trade. I know about graphic design because I was a graphic designer before I started writing. Um, Jacqueline Love, smart mouth. I have a smart mouth. Just different little things like that. And so I really don't have one that I would say is like me, but just different qualities here and there. At book events, do you mind signing books that people bring from home? Not at all. Not at all. You pay for it either way. I don't mind that at all. That I would say that I prefer like not signing like a big stack of them. Like if my line is long, it typically is. I think that it can get a little it makes it kind of adds like a layer of stress, to the interaction. Just speaking honestly, but I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I would say I'll say it like this. If you are going to bring like several, it would help if you pre-ordered like, one of the newer titles, something that you don't already have in your library, something like that. Because your other interaction or your other transaction is already handled. Like if you've pre-ordered things, you're coming in, those books are already signed, your actual transaction has already happened, and so we don't have to like sign these books and then also, process the transaction. And so if you're planning to do both, I would say pre-order the other stuff, because that will help kind of condense everything, and so it makes it just a little less stressful. But I don't mind it, and I don't think, I think most authors don't mind it. Like, I'm not speaking for anybody else, but I don't think that most people mind it. I think it's just when it's a lot of books, it makes it kind of stressful, and that's why I think a lot of people limit how many they're willing to do in one interaction like that, because it can kind of take up a lot of time. Will we be able to order one of the I'd rather be in the Heights sweatsuits? I think you're talking about the crew neck that I was wearing. Uh it was maybe a couple of weeks ago. I am thinking about a merch release that I want to do, like, coming like into winter. I released those for winter before. And then I pulled them because, it got hot. Nobody was wearing a crew neck in the heat. I have another height shirt that I just got the sample of um like yesterday, and it's really, really good. It's a really, really good shirt, but I'm thinking about that for like a fall winter release. So we're gonna see how it goes. Um are you going to do a book box again? Probably. Probably. Um what I would love to do when the Blackwood Billions I really hesitate to even bring that up. But when the Blackwood Billions get done, assuming they ever do. Um, I would like to do probably a box surrounding that. There may or may not be something before then. I don't know. I don't know. The boxes, like, this is a lot to manage. I would probably never do options the way that I did the last boxes. Like, it would just be one and done. Like, there's one option, everybody gets exactly the same thing. You know what I mean? It's just right there, and I think that that just kind of makes it easier. I'm getting comments over here on the TikTok, so I'm gonna finish the comments over here on YouTube, and then I'm gonna try to scroll back through these TikTok comments without accidentally turning it off. That text is so tiny. What are the chances we're going to get another dystopian fairy tale like Wonder? That is one of my faves, and I would love more. I still, that Beauty and the Beast retelling is still on my mind. Like, it's still on my mind. Like, I still think about I absolutely still think about that. And so I do think that at some point it will happen. I just don't know when. I just don't know when. Can we get another Sugar Valley blanket? I got Sugar Valley stuff last year, but didn't get the blanket. Y'all like the blankets? I didn't know people was really feeling the blanket like that. I can probably bring it might not does it have to be specifically Sugar Valley? That's what I would be thinking about. Vegas theme box with cars, or Super Bowl Connecticut Kings box, or BSU box. Those are all things that I have thought about. I actually very recently, as a matter of fact, I was trying to figure out how I could do like a custom card deck. And there's places to do it. There's definitely places to do it, but it can easily get like expensive. And so I was like, I got to think about this a little more, because those cards, like, at the quality that I want them to be, can get a little pricey. Khalees, can I get the Sugar Valley and the Truth and Lies imprints again? They are on Amazon, but if you want them signed, I am probably, and I know I keep saying this, but I keep putting it off. I keep putting it off because I'm waiting to have my office space back, and like the house is not finished yet, but we're closing in. We're getting ready to start painting real soon. So, like, fingers crossed. But I'm hoping for spring of next year to be able to do like just an open ordering session. So let me see. I'm gonna try. Hey, Anastasia. Beauty and the Beast would be so lit. Thank you. Can I get the Sugar Valley and Truth and Lies in print? Oh, you're over here on TikTok too, Khalees. Let me see. Uh, love you back. Uh, okay, okay. I think it just sends a lot of stuff pop. I wonder if there's a way you can have less stuff pop up on the TikTok screen thing, because that is, it makes it really hard to keep up with, like really, really hard to keep up with. Um, do you think you will write something else set in Sugar Valley? There is at least one more book coming from Sugar Valley, Justine's book. And I keep going back and forth about, kind of what her storyline was going to be. It's coming. It's coming. I just don't know when, and I don't know what the storyline is going to be. If you were not an author, what would be your career? I would be an event planner. I would be an event planner. I would be making balloon arches and fancy cupcakes, and like that is absolutely what I would be doing. Um, who was your cheerleader or in your circle that encouraged you to release your first book? I I don't know that I could point to necessarily one person. I honestly I honestly think that there was kind of a, well, it's about time kind of vibe, because I don't think it was unexpected for me. Like I don't think it was a surprise to anybody like around me necessarily. So I don't know that I could point to like one specific person. Uh, New here and been enjoying your books. Curious about something. If Ace said that King and Zora were like siblings to her, how come we never saw any interaction between Zora and Ace? Is there backstory there? I like this. So this is a reference to the book Ante Up. And to answer your question, we never saw that because it's not true. Because I just be writing stuff like that, like legitimately, that's the answer. But as I think about that, because you're probably, so there really wouldn't have been any interaction with Zora and Ace in Ante Up. So I feel like you're probably talking about Deuces. You're probably talking about Deuces, which is Ace's book. And so we see a lot of her. We see her interacting with Cree, obviously, because that's her hero. We see her interacting with King. I'm pretty sure we even see her interact with Asha, but I don't think we see her interact with Zora. So you're absolutely right. There is no backstory there. That's just a plot hole. That's just a plot hole that got missed. But shout out to you. Like, I love when people, I how do I frame that, or how do I articulate that? I hate that that was something that I missed, but I love when people are like you was doing your good reading to notice that, like you were doing your good reading, and I love that. And Khalid, you're the next person here. Can I please get a copy of Sugar Valley, Strictly Professional, Sweet Heat, The Clarks, The Truth and Lies, Friends and Lovers, and Rose series? That was a list, but I need them. I got you. I got you. Like, we are like, and it's going to be soon. It's going to be soon. It's going to be soon. Um, Let me see. I love all blankets, so whichever you do would be great. It could be like a Heights blanket is what I was thinking. Like, when I said that, when I was like, it might not be Sugar Valley, I'm thinking about the Heights, kind of the merch drop that I'm kind of conceptualizing. The King sister have her own story because she was so memorable, and her in that club, she also be spicy. So she has shorts in the King of Hearts and High Stakes Holiday. They're both short story collections. Zora and Trey have stories in both of those, but those are the only places that she has anything. Ace's movie, because it needs to be on the big screen. Now, yeah, yeah. She's reading and taking notes. Are there any additional audiobooks in the works? I love that so much of your backlist is in audio. So, you probably already have Friction. I actually just signed the contract for Definitely Not a Thing, which is soon, which is soon because I'm trying to because of what I want to do with that project, like I actually had it skip the line for some things. So that is going to be coming probably before the end of the year, for sure. I have full cast coming for Redux and Reverb, which is it used to be Me and Somebody's Son, and then It's the Chase for Me, but those got renamed or retitled rather. And so those are coming. Those are both going to be full cast audio. And then what else? I think Call and Response is I don't think it's in production. I think it's on schedule, but it's not like production hasn't started yet. And then I had terms of engagement. I had terms of engagement on the on the schedule because it was supposed to be written. It was supposed to be my next release. But I had to ask that it be tabled because it's not written. Um, but I did say not indefinitely. I did say that. I did say that. And so, fingers crossed that that is the next thing that I'm able to get to. Would you ever do player jerseys from the Connecticut Kings? Your girl wants a Ramsey jersey. That is that's that is something that we might have to think about because I feel like that could be fun. That could be fun. That could be fun. We'll have to think about that for the next time we do for the next round of what am I trying to say? When we come back to Connecticut Kings for another season or for another two books, it's something that we can probably think about as like around kind of a launch event or something like that. That could be cute. That could be cute. So we're definitely gonna have to think about that. Yeah. So that is actually all of my questions that I have from the Patreon, but I will definitely answer like any questions um from the chat or anything. And so I'm about to go through, I'm about to look at comments. Again, I'm gonna start with the TikTok this time because I did see a couple of things pop up. Anastasia, I'm so sorry that this is how you found out about it. When I grow up in narrating, I hope to do one of your books. Are you connected with have you connected with a Wesley Siobhan productions? Because that is how I don't touch it anymore. Hit up I hit up her team like, hey, do y'all have some room for me on the schedule? I don't even I don't even really cast them. I let them tell me, who we're casting. And I do give input. Like I do give input for sure, so there's definitely that I might say, okay, maybe we'll put this person here and then we'll do this person instead, for this particular character because of XYZ, blah, 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 blah. But they typically, make my casting suggestions for me as well. So yeah, if you're connected with her, you probably you very, very, very likely gonna end up on my gonna end up in my rotation. So you're already in the works. Um let me see. Did you publish the stories that were on Yonder elsewhere? I didn't read them because they were released serially and I hated waiting. You are probably so that is a throwback. Well, it's not really a throwback, but not a lot of people like ask me about that. But those became the WAWG Studios projects. And they're in audio too. They're in audio. But that they became Between the Lines, Beneath the Fame, and Beyond the Screen. And they're available in ebook and they're available in audio. And if you're on the Patreon, If you're on Patreon, you already have access to them. And I'm saying that because I feel like you're on Patreon. So you probably already have listened to them and just didn't realize. Um, who's retiring? From the Kings? I don't know. I don't know. Like, and my brain hurts like trying to think about somebody to leave because I don't want anybody to leave. I don't want anybody to leave, but I'm sure they are aging. They are aging as we all are, as we all are. And so somebody will probably have to, move along. Um, I would wear JJ's all day. Are there any other authors you like to collaborate with? Um, I I've talked about this before, but for me, for the collaboration to work, it has to be somebody that I have like a really, really good relationship with, like somebody that I'm friends with. And I think that otherwise, I think that it just adds a layer of uncertainty that I'm not comfortable with, to do like a full-blown collaboration, like where we're all writing about, similar characters. Maybe there's going to be like overlap, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But as far as like, like doing stuff like what's the word I'm looking at? Like a story, like a collection of stories, or what is the word? Anthology is the word. Like an anthology or something like that. That's not quite as intimate. We'll say it like that. Like that's not quite as intimate. And so, you're able to like I feel like that's a little more easier to like kind of manage and a little easier to kind of wrap my head around. Let me see. I'm doing good, Mieko. I am a little sleepy. We've been sick. We've been sick. And it came back around. Like we were sick uh because it was when I was supposed to do the other live. It was supposed to be when I was gonna do the end of the month live. And then we kind of started feeling better. And then it came back for round two. I actually had to go pick up my oldest. I actually had to go pick her up a bit early from school because we were all like like what is going on? Like why? But I think I'm starting to think it's just allergies. Like I'm really starting to think that it's just the change of seasons. Like, and if it's already starting now, I don't even know. Sorry if you have answered this. How did you connect with Love Belvin for the Connecticut King series? That is my boo. That is my real life. Like that's my real life friend, and so it was a very natural. What is the word? I'm having a heart. I need to eat something. I think that's the problem. I think the problem is that I do not have enough calories for the brain power necessary. What is the word that I'm looking for? Not transition. Development. No. Evolution. It was a natural evolution for us to, to have like a collaboration like that. Is evolution is the word that I'm looking for. I feel I have progression, not quite progression either. I don't think evolution is quite the word either though, but y'all feel me. Y'all get what I'm saying. Hi Rain. Uh whoa. Oh, okay. I just finished watching your this year. I am gonna do Vlogmas this year, and I'm actually really, really looking forward to it because I think I think that if the timing works out the way that I believe the timing is going to work out, there is going to be a lot of like finishing touches and decorating and stuff in the new house. I think that the timing is going to work out that Vlogmas is going to have a lot of that in it. And so we're looking at splitting Christmas between the two properties, which the new house is, dude, for a while, I could literally see it from like if I was standing in my driveway of the current house, I could see the framing and stuff of the new house, but as the other houses went up around it, I can't see it anymore. But it's really, really close, and so I think that that will help with like the moving process. Like I think that that's really going to make it not so I hate moving. Like moving is really stressful and it's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I'm that part I'm not looking forward to. Like I looking forward to being, to like having my office space? Am I looking forward to a toddler not living in the room with me? Absolutely. He needs his own space. His stuff needs its own space. I am so tired of stepping on letter puzzles and etc etc. I'm tired. And so it would be good for him to have his own space as well. um let me see. Girl, have you read event comeback year 2027-ish? I don't know. And I was talking about this with Alexandra, and like the vibes are different. The vibes, like with regard to events and stuff, like it is very, very different. And Girl Have You Met is a small event. Girl Have You Met is a small event. Like it has always been, you know, 150, 200 tickets, you know, and even that is like a lot to handle. It's a lot to deal with because we're a two-person team, and I would literally be, you know, blowing up balloons and, taking the stems off of grapes and et cetera, and then rushing to my table, for the event to start. Like we were in it, like we were like definitely like part of putting the event on. And I don't know. I don't know. Like maybe with help, and maybe with an event planner, maybe, but outside of that, I'm really, really not sure. But we would love to do it again. We really would love to do it again. I just, man, it's different. It's the readers are different. The community, like the community is different. The vibes are different. Like everything is different. It's very, very different. Let me see. Uh, yeah, I'm so happy for you with your new house finally being completed, girl. Me too. Thank you again for the Super Club box. I can't throw the ice box away. um, and that's really not the box is not even really how it was supposed to be, but I ended up not being able to order the exact box from what my sample was, and so I went with that one. And I still like it. I still like it. I'm moving in 90 days and I hate it already packing. I just want it to be done. Man, like that is the least. I'm looking forward to that, the absolute least. Which book or series that you've written is your favorite? That is a very, very hard question to answer. That's a very hard question to answer. Right now, I am very heavily like thinking about my rom-coms, probably because I'm writing a rom-com right now, and so that is just very like on my brain. Um and when I think about the rom-coms I've written, it will be, Redux and Reverb that I just mentioned. So and they used to be Me Plus Somebody's Son and It's the Chase for Me. And then the Wright Brothers series, my throat is starting to remind me that I'm sick. Um, what was I saying? Oh, the Wright Brothers series, which is Getting Schooled, Pulling Doubles, Bending the Rules, and then the Love Sisters. I Think I Might Love You, Think I Might Need You, uh, Think I Might Want You. And so that was always like those are fun. Those are fun. And then definitely not a thing. I think is likely to be a series. Y'all already know it's not gonna follow the same people because I don't ever be trying to, do that. Like I like to be kind of one and done with the couple. Um, but I already so fun fact, the other two potential couples are both books that I had started writing before and then was not able to like really like finish or really get very far on. Um there is one that I'm a little sad that if they become one of the couples for this series, I'm gonna have to rename their book. But I love the name that their book already had. And so I'm gonna have to figure out like if there's a way that I can, I don't know. I don't know. I might have to either try to make it work or man, does it really matter? I don't know. It might not really matter. It might not really matter. What am I doing? Okay. Let me see. See, they keep showing me like other weird stuff. I'm gonna have to when I do TikTok, I'm gonna have to do it like on my iPad or something so I can see it bigger. Fun fact: your series on writing a three-book novella series is what prompted me to write my debut book. Oh my god! Yay! So, fun fact about that. Fun fact about that. That video, it was actually recorded as a series. It was going to be the first thing on my Teachable because I was supposed to have like a whole series of different courses and stuff that I was going to do. And that was my test run. And I am so pregnant. I am so very extremely incredibly pregnant. Like if you could hear the heavy breathing that I had to edit out of those videos because my like BJ was like all on my lungs. He was all on my lungs and I had to edit my breathing so bad. But I knew that I was not like and I had some people go through the course. Like I had set it up and I had some people go through the course for me and kind of read through everything and kind of look through it or look over it and tell me how it felt and all of that. But once I once I had him and once I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to really devote the time to like actually do like more courses at that time. And so I went ahead and I just edited it together and put it up as a video. And I like that. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for sharing that with me. um the love series was my intro to your work. Love those books so much. Yeah, like they were fun. They were fun. Jacqueline, was like that's a funny girl. That's a really, really funny girl. And one thing that I love about that series is that each of them is very different. Like they're sisters, but they are their own person. And so it was really important to me for each of their books to feel like their own book. And so like I would get complaints or whatever about, I think I might love you being like the funniest. Like the other two are not as funny. They're simply not. Like they are not as funny, but they are also different books. It's like they're sisters, but they're different books. And so a different couple is going to bring a different energy. And so I try to just, kind of keep that energy. I'm about to have to get off y'all because I'm about to start coughing. I can feel can y'all I feel like I can hear it in my throat. Can y'all hear that? Like the little rasp that's starting up. Um Let me see. Definitely not a thing. Definitely more than that. Definitely knew better. I like definitely knew better a lot. I like definitely knew better a lot. But so the title, I can't tell y'all the title because I feel like that would be a spoiler. The one that I'm sad about leaving, I'm not gonna say that one. The other one though, was just gonna be titled The Fling. And it was set in the Heights. It was there's actually a bit of overlap in plot to Definitely Not a Thing. So there is one little thing that I'm gonna have to change, but it's not something that actually like matters to the story. And so I wonder if Definitely Knew Better could work for that one. That might work for that one. Yeah, good medicine ball with ACV, cinnamon, and lemon. I don't know that I've tried the ACV, but I might try that because I'll drink a kombucha, so I'm not scared to drink vinegar. Because I'll drink a kombucha, but yeah, I'm gonna end before I start coughing. And I'm almost at an hour, so I don't even feel bad. Thank y'all for hanging out with me and for your questions and all of that. And we will Patreon, we will do this again at the end of the month. Um oh oh so this thing to me again. That's my cue. All right, y'all. Bye. And thank y'all again.